Local film archivist Dave Conover is partly responsible for the Speed Cinema's new exhibit, Deep in Vogue, which celebrates the legacy of the old Vogue Theater with 18 films from October 12th through the 28th. The Vogue Theater, which closed in 1998, became a local cultural institution in the 1970s through its lineup of eclectic and avant-garde films. Conover was a regular at the Vogue in its heyday and says its impact reached beyond the screen.
I think as many of my friends point out, they all felt like misfits, and the Vogue became kind of their clubhouse. It became a place where you could go see something that kind of pushed the envelope, and you felt like you were welcome to do so. You met people who were like you or unlike you. You got to mingle with a lot of people you normally may not have met in your normal walk of life.
Dean Otto, the curator of film at Speed Cinema, worked with Conover to bring that bygone era back to life through film screenings and Vogue artifacts.
So you're going to see, cult films, foreign films, classic Hollywood films, children's films, art house cinema, new American cinema, of the 1980s and early 90s too. All of those programs were a great strength of the Vogue too. So, and of course, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show was screened at the Vogue for over 2 decades and promises to be a big draw when it's screened in the Speed's Grand Hall on October 19th. The series will also include classics like Harold and Maude, His Girl Friday, and, of course,
He's looking at you, kid.
Casablanca, all to be shown on 35mm film prints, something Otto says is crucial to the viewing experience.
Most everything that would have screened at the Vogue during that period was shown on 35mm, on an actual film print. It's almost like a performance in a way too, because each film print has its own unique qualities to it, and how it was projected before, where a certain scratch or a certain thing is on it makes it really unique.
The power of that viewing experience is not lost on Conover, who supplied many of the exhibit's artifacts, including the actual 35mm film projection lens from the Vogue Theater.
That's probably one of my most precious possessions, because the night the theater closed, I was up in the booth, more or less breaking down, and I realized I had to get something out of here that was specific to how I felt, and that's the one that called out, because almost every classic film I had seen there pre-1950s was projected through that lens.
It's a really intimate piece to have, that lens that literally showed you a new world.
A new world, and that's how I felt when I first walked into the Vogue. When I first walked into the Speed Cinema, I looked around and I saw people that I had not seen maybe in 10 years or 20 years. I literally saw some faces in the audience that I had not seen since the Vogue days. And I think we're going to see a lot of folks turn up who have been patrons of the Vogue, almost their entire life. They've been lacking it for 20 years, and here's a chance to get it back, at least for a couple of weeks.
Will Weibel, WHAS 11 News.